Because if you did, your kid probably wouldn't want to eat meat again because he realizes that that's an animal. See, we let our kids play with animals. We buy them toys that are animals, and we teach them that animals are your friends from a very early age. We teach our kids that animals are friends. Give them the little toy cow, the little toy pig, and we teach them that animals are friends. But then we kill them, and we kill 57 billion of them every year, and we eat them. So what kind of message is that sending? That's sending a message of confusion, massive confusion. First of all, so kids are confused from day one. They don't even know. They don't know why they're eating animals, but they love animals. They're confused from day one. And their parents are confused too, and the parents have no clue either. The parents want to act like they know what they're talking about, but they're just doing the same things that their parents taught them, and their parents were taught by their parents. And it's been passed down for the last couple hundred years, since these industries began. And so it's about breaking the cycle. It's about being informed. It's about empowering yourself to make an educated decision. And it's about not harming animals if you don't have to. Why would you do that? Why would you harm animals if you don't have to? There's no reason to. It's not funny. This isn't a joke. This isn't, oh yeah, well, I wish I could be vegan, but, no. You can be vegan. You should be vegan. There's no reason not to be vegan. Because if you were that animal, you would want somebody else to be vegan, and you would want them to show you compassion and show you mercy. See, the humane slaughter, that's the biggest lie that's ever been told. Humane slaughter, halal, kosher. Oh, they didn't feel any pain. We stunned them. They didn't feel any pain. They felt every bit of it. There's no such thing as a humane slaughter. How are you going to humanely slaughter someone? You know how stupid that sounds? Humane slaughter. Oh, but we slaughter them humanely. You know the definition of humane? It's benevolence. It's showing benevolence or compassion. How are you going to compassionately kill someone? You can't. You can't compassionately murder someone and take their life away. See, it's a myth. It's a euphemism that is used to make people's conscience eased. That's all it is. It makes people's conscience get eased. That's all it's for. It makes people okay with the choice that they're making because, it's free range. This chicken lived a life. It was happy. Free range. It lived its life. It was happy. Had a good life. Nope, it didn't. It lived in a house with about 15,000 other birds, and they were not even able to move around. The average chicken house can hold up to 12,000 birds. This is in the UK. I'm not sure about America. Probably even worse here. So you do the math on that, and what it comes down to is 9 chickens per square foot. So they're jammed in there. They have no room. They can't move anywhere. Yeah, there's no fences, but guess what? The other chickens are preventing them from moving anywhere. They defecate all over themselves. They urinate all over themselves. They live in their feces. And it's wrong. If somebody were to go into these places and see what's going on, you would not want to eat animals anymore. You just wouldn't, because you would see what's actually going on for yourself. See, hearing about it is different from seeing it. I can tell you all day long the animals are getting their throats slit and that pigs are being thrown into gas chambers. I can tell you all that. But until you watch it for yourself, it's not going to matter. And the lies that we're told about free range and humane slaughter and no antibiotics, hormone free. These chickens are not free range. Free range is literally anything that they want to call it. You can literally buy your way into calling animals free range. If you have enough money, you can get that sticker to go on the package and it says free range. And guess what? It's going to make people buy it. Because people want to think that we're doing good in the world. We want to think that we're causing the least amount of harm. Humans want to think that we are compassionate people. We are. And we even go out of our way to pay extra for the free range just because we think that it's better and that these animals didn't suffer. But in reality, they're lying to you. They're tricking you. These animals are being tortured and brutally murdered. And they're just using that to make more money. They tricked you. They tricked me. They trick everybody. But they can't do it forever. Injustice can't continue to go on forever. It just can't. All injustice comes to an end. And this is going to come to an end too. It's already starting to happen. Veganism's gone from 1% to 6% in the last 5 years worldwide. It's going to explode too right now with social media. You can't stop it. You can't hide the truth. So what I encourage you guys to do is watch a documentary called What the Health, then watch a documentary called Dominion. Both of those are going to show you about the health impacts of eating animal products, and it's going to show you the industries that you're supporting when you go to the grocery store and you buy animal products. And there's just really no excuse for not being vegan, because the amount of things that we have now, all the different resources and the different varieties of foods that we have, there's no excuse. And guess what? It's cheaper. You're going to save money. It's the cheapest way to eat rice, beans, fruit, pasta, legumes, nuts, seeds, vegetables, whole grains. It's the cheapest things in the world. It's what most poor people eat all across the world. See, meat's a luxury. Meat's expensive. The only reason it's affordable, somewhat affordable, is because the government spends a lot of money, a whole lot of money, to help these industries make it affordable. They give them subsidies and they make it affordable. If they didn't do that, you wouldn't, I'm not going to say you wouldn't be able to afford it, but most people would not be able to afford it. The only reason it's somewhat affordable is because of the subsidies that are given by the United States and these other countries to these industries. So it's not sustainable. It can't continue to go on. We can't continue to spend the amount of money, water, food, land that we're using on these animals. 40% of the entire earth right now is used for animal agriculture. 40%. 40% of the entire world. That's crazy. It's crazy. Right now, it's recently stopped. I think they got it under control finally, but the Amazon fires were started by farmers to create more land for more crops. That's sad. That's very sad, because all these trees that we're cutting down, they're the lungs of our planet. They take carbon dioxide and they produce oxygen, and we're killing them. We're tearing down these ecosystems just so we can put up ranches and animal agriculture and slaughterhouses and factory farms, just so that we can eat these animals and get animal proteins that we don't need, that people think we need, and so that we can get diseases and cancer. And it makes no sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. I'm not a genius. I'm just a guy who found some information, and I'm sharing that information. And I'm not just going to be a vegan and shut up and eat my vegan burger in the corner and be quiet. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that, because, see, my parents raised me to stand up for what's right. My parents raised me to do the right thing, and I've made a lot of mistakes, and you guys know, if you guys know me personally, you know I've made a lot of mistakes. And I'm not perfect. I'm not even close to being perfect. I wouldn't even say that I'm a great person. I am a good person. I do a lot of good things, and I mean well, and I try to help as much as I can, and I aim to be the best person that I can every morning when I wake up. But I'm not a saint. I've done some things that I'm ashamed of. But guess what? That doesn't mean that I have to continue being a bad person and continue doing things that are harming other people. So this is not sustainable. Eating animals is not sustainable. Okay, if you watch that movie called Cowspiracy, it's going to show you, it's a really good movie directed by Leonardo DiCaprio, and it's going to show you how animal agriculture is not sustainable. We cannot continue to do it. It takes over 2,400 gallons of water to make 1 pound of beef. 1 acre of land can produce about 1,100 pounds of beef per year, and it can produce over 12,000 pounds of vegetables, that same acre. So veganism can literally end world hunger. Oh yeah, that's crazy, there's no way. No, it's real. 57 billion land animals every year. We find a way to feed them. Do you think animals eat more than us or less than us? Cows, pigs, they eat more than us, especially cows. So if we can find a way to feed grain and water to 57 billion animals every year before we kill them, we can definitely feed 8 billion people. Simple math. It's not a lot. It's not rocket science. If we can feed 57 billion animals, then we can definitely feed 8 billion people, because people eat less than animals, most animals. And that number is so drastic. 8 and 57 is such a drastic difference that of course we could feed everybody. We could use the land right now that we're using for cattle farming and for ranching to grow vegetables and feed people in other countries that are starving to death. See, it's not just about the animals. People think, oh, vegans are just animal worshipers. They just love animals. No, I don't. No, that's not what it's about. It is about animals, and animals do matter, and I do care about animals. You damn right I do. Because animals deserve to live, and they want to live just like we do. But it's an animal rights issue, and it's a human rights issue. There are people who are starving to death right now, and we're feeding that food that we could be feeding to them, we're feeding it to animals to fatten them up so that we can kill them so that we can get sick. Makes no sense. This is all stuff that I've found out. Okay, I'm not a genius. It's just information that I came across. And you can find it out for yourself too. You can look it up. I'm not making this shit up. You can look it up yourself. You can look it up yourself just like I did. So it's not sustainable, first of all. Second of all, it's not healthy. You're going to get cancer, you're going to get heart disease, you're going to get diabetes. I hope to God that nobody does. But the science and the studies and the research show that you will if you continue to eat animal products. Doesn't matter if it's organic, grass-fed, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The number one cause of death in the United States is heart disease. Number one cause of heart disease is high cholesterol. The number one reason for having high cholesterol is by eating animal products. The only cholesterol that is found on this planet is in animals. Cholesterol is not in plants. So by eating animals, you're drastically increasing your chances of dying from cancer and heart disease. There's a study called the China Study. It's a guy named Colin Campbell. He went to China and he did a study with over 200 villages. It was an 8-year study. Biggest study ever done on the relationship between nutrition and disease, and he found two things. He found a lot of things, but two major things. Number one, the people with the highest consumption of dairy had the highest levels of osteoporosis and bone disease. Yep. The people who drank the most milk and ate the most cheese had the worst bones and had the highest rates of bone disease. But but wait a minute. Milk makes your bones strong. We got to drink milk. No. Milk is so acidic that it leaches calcium from your body. Also, he found that animal protein contains something called sulfate ions that is inside the animal tissue, and it causes cancer. It turns on cancers. It turns on certain genes, and I'm not a biologist, but it causes cancer. Animal protein causes cancer because it's extremely acidic, and it's toxic. It's toxic to the human body. There's a reason why we can't go and we can't bite into an animal and eat it raw. There's a reason why you have to cook your food. There's a reason why you have to cook your chicken and cook your steak. And there's a reason why you have to wash your hands. It's because we are not meant to eat animals. If we were meant to eat animals, we would have massive claws. We don't. We would have massive canines. We don't. Go ahead, feel your canines. We don't have massive canines like tigers and lions and dogs. We don't. And by the way, the animals with the biggest canines are herbivores. Gorillas, rhinoceros, hippopotamus, giraffes. Some of the biggest animals and the strongest animals in the world are herbivores. They're not meat eaters. And just because we have big canines does not mean that we're designed to eat meat. And if we were designed to eat animals, if that's what we were set up for, then why do we get heart disease and cancer when we eat these things? If we were naturally meant to eat animals, then why do we get sick? Why do we get cancer and heart disease? It does not add up. The argument does not stand. There is no logical basis for the argument of eating animals. If we were meat eaters, naturally, we would see an injured animal and we would go bite, we would go eat it. We would go literally jump out of the car, see an injured animal, we jump out and we go have a party, we go eat it. We don't do that. See, we're disconnected. We go to the grocery store and we buy products that are wrapped up in plastic and have a nice little label with a nice picture of a happy cow and a happy chicken. And then we go home and we put plants on our food. We go put plants on our steak and on our chicken to make it taste good. Steak doesn't taste good. When's the last time you just had a steak with no seasoning, nothing at all? And don't tell me you do it, because I know you're lying. I used to eat steak almost every day. No way I'm eating a steak with no type of seasoning, no soy sauce, no garlic salt. It's not happening. We take plants and we put that onto the animals to make them taste good. You think other animals are doing that? No. You think lions are doing that? No. And by the way, we should not get our morals from animals. Okay, there's a lot of things that lions do that we would not want to do. Okay, there's a lot of things that lions do that we would not want to do. They rape, they eat their babies. Just because a lion eats other animals does not mean we need to do it. And even if we are set up to eat meat, even if there is some crazy study that has, even though there's not, and they've already proven that our digestive system, everything about our entire body, our brain, everything is set up to eat starches, carbohydrates, vegetables, nuts, seeds, legumes, fruits. But even if there was, even if they came out and said, oh, well, we're biologically designed to eat meat and we can't eat meat. Just because we can do something doesn't mean we should. Just because I can go impose my will on somebody doesn't mean I should. Might doesn't make right. Just because I can do something doesn't mean I should. If that was the case, we would have an absolute anarchy. We would have there would be no rules. Everybody would just be killing, raping, stealing, doing whatever they wanted to do. But we have moral agency. We're different than animals. Yes, we are the same in that we have the same capacity to suffer and feel pain, but we have moral agency. That's what separates us from the animals. We have a responsibility of moral agency. We know right from wrong. Animals don't. They survive. They do it to survive. We do it because we like the way it tastes. It's not our right to kill an animal and take their life away just so we can enjoy a sandwich for 5 minutes. It's not right. Makes no sense. So I'm gonna wrap this up. But I just hope that everybody watching this video, I hope you guys take the time to do your own research and figure out what veganism is, and finally understand that it's not an extreme cult, it's not a religion, it's not some crazy ideology. It's just a basic human principle and stance against animal cruelty and killing animals. That's all it is. That's all it is, man. We're all vegans. We're all born vegan. The Garden of Eden was vegan. God wants us to be vegan. God does not want us to kill animals. The only animals that He created for us, you think He wants us to kill them? You think He wants us to kill His own creations and destroy our planet and destroy our health? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think if you were in a room with God, the devil, and a lamb, and you're in there and there's a knife, who's telling you to kill the lamb? Go ahead and sleep on that one and think about that one. If you think God wants us to kill animals, if you're in a room with God, Satan, and an animal and there's a knife there, which one is going to tell you to kill the animal? See, we've been lied to and told. A lot of Christians have been lied to and told that God put animals here for us to kill. That's not God. That's the work of the devil. Killing innocent animals, that's not God. That's not God. And there's tons of Bible verses that support veganism. Genesis 1:29, Isaiah chapter 11. There's so many parts of the Bible that talk about veganism and talk about how Jesus would not want us to kill animals if we don't have to. So I don't care if you're Christian, if you're not Christian. Killing animals when there's no reason is evil, is wrong. Not only is it going to give us cancer and heart disease, but it's destroying our planet. is causing other people to die, to go hungry every day. And if you're against animal cruelty and you love animals, but you still pay other people to kill them, you need to reconsider that, and you need to realize that what you're doing is not just a personal choice, because it's not a personal choice when there's victims involved.